Hey folks, this is Wistful Deal here, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video here, folks, it's going to be something a bit different, but bear with me here because I think it's something that's going to be interesting here. If you don't know what we're doing in this video here, folks, we are going to be, at least I'm going to be reacting to a creepypasta video. So I decided to go ahead and do this to add some form of freshness and to add something unique here to the channel. I don't know what this is going to be like or anything, but I figured to go ahead and give it a shot with this here. And I figured to, why not go ahead and start with a good old Creepypasta or whatever. I really like this YouTuber here. You'll see what I mean here with this, but there's something about his voice and his editing and everything that I really personally like. And plus, I'm a fan of creepypastas, and there's a ton of My Little Pony creepypastas. But I figured today, let's go ahead and add something a bit different here with this one here. Now, this one here is a bit different, but stick with me here because I think you folks will like it. I hope, at least. It's been ages since I've seen this video, or at least listened to it here. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a listen and pretty much react to it and everything. If you folks are curious to check this out for yourself, you can down in the description below. And this is not by me, this is by Creepypasta. So we're gonna go ahead and pretty much give it a listen and just see what happens from here. I'm very curious to see what this one is about, because like I said, I remember some of it. I do know it's like based on, quote, real life stuff. Not really real life, but fictional real life stuff and whatnot outside of the show. And it's something that I'm honestly curious to see. It's been ages since I've listened to this. So anyway, without further ado, let's give this a listen.
You all probably know about the new generation of My Little Pony. Friendship is magic. It has, for one reason or another, became an overnight sensation. Whether or not you like the show yourself, you have to admit that its success is impressive.
Very.
However, it raises a question. Lauren Faust has worked on other popular shows and has been working on her own line of toys, the Galaxy Girls. How did she wind up creating the remake of some 80s toy commercial instead of working on her own show ideas? It could be that she's just nostalgic about her child My Little Pony toys.
That's a creepy image of Fluttershy,
but
by the way.
even then, what artist wouldn't rather work on their own ideas? I read this news story a few years ago. It was about 6 girls who all went to the same school and died on the same day.
Oh shit.
November 7th, 2004. A friend of mine from NC sent me a news article.
I see where this is starting to go now.
From the small local paper. I forgot about it until I was watching a few episodes of My Little Pony and realised the main characters were surprisingly similar to the girls who died.
Yeah.
I decided to look for that article again. The paper had either gotten shut down or I'd misremembered the name, so I tried tracking down my old World of Warcraft buddy and asked him for the article. Turned out he happened to have the file saved on his computer. And I was right. There's a definite connection here. The first girl, Samantha Gales, was obviously the inspiration for Fluttershy. A shy, introverted girl. What her classmates didn't know
Damn, I see where
was
this
that
is
she was
going.
constantly abused at home by her mother and stepfather. Her mother conceived her at the age of 15, and she blamed poor Samantha for ruining her life. This made Samantha self-conscious. When her stepfather moved in, this made the neglect worsen. Her stepfather never liked having to take care of Samantha when her mother was away, so he would lock her in the basement and leave her, sometimes for the whole day.
That's
Her
cool.
mother tolerated this, and, as she grew, would hit Samantha for talking out of turn. When her half-sister was born, the abuse became considerably worse. She would be starved, forced to sleep outside, and sometimes beaten outright. Because
Like
she
a
dressed
dog.
in shabby clothes and had low self-esteem, she was often picked on by other kids at school. Her only friends were animals that she would rescue, which her family would make her get rid of.
I had a
She
feeling.
committed suicide by overdosing on Valium. The second, named Janice Walton.
God damn, this got way darker than I expected. Holy shit. Oh my god. Damn.
Was always one of the popular girls. She was rich, smart, beautiful, and seemed to live the charmed life.
I have a feeling this is
However,
Twilight.
Her parents argued constantly and were really only together for appearances. She was held up to a high standard, which made her a perfectionist.
This must be Twilight.
She wanted to be a designer and live in Paris.
No,
but
wait.
her parents wanted her to remain in Carolina
No, it's
and marry
Rarity.
a proper man. One of good breeding.
Yep, it's Rarity. I have a feeling now. I thought it was Twilight. I have a feeling this is Rarity here, quote.
And high income. For the most part, her parents ignored her. Her parents' only concern was appearing rich and of high social standing. But in reality, her mother married her father because of money,
Just like Lewis from Beastars, literally.
and because he had accumulated so much debt, they were losing money fast. This is what got her interested in fashion initially, since she started making her own fashionable clothes to maintain the appearance of wealth. She died in a car crash when her mother and father got into another argument over money while he was driving. Her neck was snapped on impact, and she
Damn.
died instantly. She was clearly the inspiration for Rarity.
Yeah, I thought it was Twilight, but
Then there was Alexandra Matthews. Alex was a competitive girl. She always sought to be the best,
Rainbow Dash.
especially at sports,
Yep.
track in particular. Her father always wanted a boy, and since her mother was declared incapable of having another child, he decided to raise her as if she was his son. In the end, though, she loved her mother and father, and was more than happy to play sports with her father. She excelled at them, even. This made her popular, and by the time she was in high school, she was being sought out by athletic scouts from colleges all over the country. This made her try even harder. She had always wanted to compete in the Olympics. However, when she was 15, her mother, who had been told she could never have another child, had a son. After that, her parents didn't pay very much attention to her, which made her more determined to succeed. She ended up pushing herself so hard at track, she neglected her friends, her grades, and even her personal health. At one point, she became so desperate, she started taking steroids. What her and her family didn't know was that she had a mild heart condition that the steroids worsened. She was pushing herself so hard physically as well. She ended up collapsing during a match due to a heart complication. She died in hospital a few days later. In the show, Rainbow Dash seems the most similar.
Yep. I had a feeling. It was either Twilight
the girl
or her.
most similar to Applejack, Jamie Sanders, was a farm girl, just like the character based off her. What the show didn't include was that her farm was run down, and her family was always struggling with money. She often worked odd jobs under the table to try help support her family. She had many brothers and sisters, and she was the second, which meant it was up to her and her brother to take care of the young'uns.
Yep.
This
That was the old style back. Well, I guess it still kind of is, but that was what the old style kind of was back in the day, even in my parents' generation. That if you were an older sibling of your brother or sister, it was really up to you to parent your younger siblings, while the actual parents parented you, in a sense. That's how it was back then.
It meant she didn't have much time to hang out with her friends, or take any extracurricular activities,
Just too busy.
or even do her homework on most nights. She had an aunt, whom her family from Manhattan was based off, who kept offering to send money to support her mother and father. But they were proud and always refused. That is, until her father died of a heart attack in 2001.
Dang.
Her mother followed shortly after, having
Damn.
killed herself when she couldn't handle the pressure of taking care of all the children.
Shit, it's just like with the actual show, the actual Apple Parents or whatever. Though it's way different and a lot sweeter than this, goddamn.
They were taken in by their senile grandma, who was incapable of truly taking care of them.
Yep.
Jamie herself oftentimes helped out with other families' yard work to keep her family afloat. She died when she fell into a wood chipper. Pinkie Pie's inspiration probably has the saddest story.
No.
Catherine Jackson.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay, here we go.
Was a foster child and moved from home to home. Her birth father killed her mother and himself in a fit of rage when she was 5, and she could never quite settle into a good home. Some of the foster families who would take her in were merely interested in the financial support adopting a child would bring in, and would refuse to feed her or clothe her. Even when she was in a nice home with a good family, the old memories still haunted her, breaking her fragile sanity into a million pieces. She would have nightmares of her mother screaming and bleeding, and her father screaming for her, claiming to be after her next. By the time she was in high school, she completely snapped. She started to hallucinate and act out in class. Many of the other kids, and even teachers, assumed she was merely hyperactive and was trying to be funny. She would oftentimes paint and draw and write about fascinating things, and dressed in over-the-top clothing. All the while, her condition was getting worse and worse, the voices and images becoming more realistic and more demanding. She died when she jumped off a building, one of the voices having told her she could fly. What makes the last fact even more chilling is that Lauren originally designed Pinkie Pie to be a Pegasus, as seen in her early development sketches.
I don't know if that's actually true or not. I don't know if that's fully true or not. And again, this is purely fictional here. These stories that he's saying and everything of these characters, this is, from what I believe, it's fictional here. It's made to seem real, but it's actually fictional. That's not to say that there's actual people or characters or children that have gone through something like this before, but this is all a lead up to something that you can think on and have that fury idea that it's real, when in reality it's fictional, but it's still based on something, real. I kind of want to get that out of the way. But damn. Yeah, Pinkie Pie was... Damn, her end is fucked up. I'm freaking getting Joker vibes and shit with this, 2019.
Twilight Sparkle's inspiration was an A student by the name of Cynthia Little. She was held up to a high standard from a young age. Her older brother was always getting awards for her academic and athletic achievement, and she was held up to the same high standard. She ended up neglecting other facets of her life in order to make sure she got the best grades. For a while, this worked. Her parents were proud of her accomplishments and bragged to their friends about having not one genius child, but two.
I have a bad feeling on this.
Until a local private academy for the gifted started to become interested in her, among several other advanced students. She knew that this would be the best opportunity she could have to prove herself as the perfect child. But the pressure was high. She knew there were limited spots for new students, and she knew there would be a test and an essay required to get in. So she became a little desperate.
Too desperate, if you ask me. I have a feeling on where this is gonna go. I just have a feeling she's gonna burn out.
She studied to the point where she could hardly eat and never sleep. As the test closed in, she panicked, and she opted to find an essay online to copy, and during the test resorted to cheating. When she was caught, her parents were horrified. She sank into deep depression and eventually hung herself to save herself the shame of being an imperfect daughter. You might be wondering now why Lauren Faust would be inspired to make a sweet children's show inspired by such depressing events. Perhaps she felt some odd need to give the girls closure, or perhaps to tell their story in any way she could. Think about it. In the show, Fluttershy is able to take care of animals she adores. Rarity is a successful designer with loving parents. Rainbow Dash is in fact a great athlete. Applejack has a successful farm. Pinkie Pie is happy with not a care in the world. And Twilight Sparkle was accepted into an exclusive school. Maybe, just maybe, she wanted to give the spirits of these girls what they always wanted. And I think they're happy.
Until they're not, but yeah. Oh, goodness. Now, alright, so, like I said, I don't think this is actually an actual, legit, real thing here. I mean, it could be, you never know, but I don't think this is like an actual concrete, real thing. I think this is pure fictional here, okay? I want to get that out of the way. I think so, at least. This is purely, fictional here. That's not to say, the suffering of the past lives of the characters here. But damn, man. Oh, man, that Pinkie one. That was a bit much there. That was a bit much. But yeah, wow. Definitely quite depressing and crazy here. When it went over to Rarity, I immediately was thinking of Twilight when he mentioned, perfectionism and stuff, but as soon as he said fashion and stuff, I was like, you know what, it's Rarity on that one. Yeah, for Fluttershy's past one, that Fluttershy is really depressing. Yeah, they're all depressing. But yeah, definitely crazy. I don't think the actual creator actually. I don't think she actually got actual. I mean, she could have, but I don't think she actually got actual inspiration from these kids or whatever. It's honestly making me think of FNAF now. Honestly, it's legit making me think of Five Nights at Freddy's Hill, because that's how that lore goes, where there's children's souls are locked in the animatronics and everything, and stuff like that. It makes me think of heavily of FNAF vibes and the lore on that and everything. But with this one here, it's definitely very interesting here, and I know this wasn't really anything much, because I just pretty much reacted to it, and yeah, all you got was just Fluttershy here with this one here. Maybe in the future, if you want me to do more of these creepypasta reactions, or storyboard reactions, or whatever, I can add a gameplay in the background to help smooth out, I guess to make things more interesting-ish or something. But yeah, that was it. That was crazy, honestly, and creepy. It's something I normally like to do from time to time, and it's something I kind of want to get back to eventually, where if I have nothing to do or nothing to really listen to, I'll just listen to creepypastas or true scary stories, which are actually true stories here, unlike creepypastas here, which is made to just spook you, it's not real, but it's made to seem real and made to spook you purposefully, in that way. And I wonder, a lot of the times I would just game or play, video games while just listening to hours of creepypastas. But yeah, anyway, folks, that is pretty much it for this video here. I have no idea how this may have turned out or whatever, but I figured to go ahead and to have something new this time around and add some freshness towards it. I'm curious to know what you folks think of this one here. I think this is kind of effed up, if you ask me. The poor kids and everything, if that was, would be the case and stuff, but yeah, damn. Now I'm not going to get Pinkie Pie out of my head. Mental illness is a hell of a thing, and damn. She definitely got schizophrenia, though too, along with split personality. That's the two theories, the two mental illnesses that are popping up in my head immediately with Pinkie Pie is a split personality disorder, mood swings, and schizophrenia. Definitely some heavy shit. But anyway, folks, that's pretty much it for this video here, and with that being said, it is time to end it here. I'm curious to know, again, what you folks think of this one here. I don't know if you folks liked it or not, but if you folks want me to do more of this type of content in the future with other creepypastas, I'll be more than happy to. And I just figured to go ahead and add something different and unique. So I always like to expand and add something unique or some freshness. At least keep the content at least a bit different here and there, and not just samey all the time and the same over and over and over again. But yeah, anyway, with all that being said, that's pretty much it for this video here. Again, if you folks want to check this out for yourselves and give it a listen, the link will be in the description box below. So be sure to check that out if you want to, that is. And yeah, so with all that being said, that's pretty much it for this video here. Don't forget to turn on notifications so that you folks don't miss out on a future video or post that I make in the future, and that you can always be kept up to date with the channel whenever I post or upload something here, and that you can always get notified and YouTube can tell you when I make a video or whatnot. And lastly, if you folks have any requests or suggestions, feel free to tell me down in the comments below, and I will do whatever I can to fulfill in that request. So with all that being said and out of the way, thank you folks so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe for more, and I will see you all sooner or later. Bye-bye, everyone.